Hey, comic book fans, and welcome to another price variant show. And it's very exciting this week because Allan and I are reviewing the comic related TV shows and movies that we can expect in 2023. Over on Allan's channel, we talked about the TV series that are coming up this year. And go and watch it because Allan has got very high hopes for the animated series called Velma, based on the Scooby-Doo character. So you need to go and see why Allan thinks this is going to be special.
Oh yeah,
he gave it his a mark which we've not seen before.
that's right. So true.
That is true. Okay. So on this channel, on my show, we're going to be talking about the movies that are coming up this year. And Allan, I've got a special treat for you. I'm going to show you the trailer of the movie I am looking forward to the most. Okay, if I can get this to work properly.
Okay.
So, dooby 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 doo. Where are we going?
Are we going to get like copyright strike? Like
well,
this least...
I don't know. Are you allowed to? I thought you were allowed to show trailers.
I don't know. Oh yes, I love this. Unheard is awesome. So yeah, I love Dungeons and Dragons. By the way, yeah, I'm a big D&D fan, and you can tell that this was written by a D&Der, like somebody that played the game, that knows how every quest always ends up. You know, you do all this big quest, you know, you think you've won the big prize. You come up, you get the thing that you're supposed to get to give to the person that you've got to give it to. And then the DM always does like, ha ha ha, you know, I was evil all along, and now this item, you've basically given me the power that I need to destroy the world. And
yeah,
and that happens
every D&D quest you've ever done. Yeah,
it's so great. So you know, I just think this can be, and it looks like, you know, I always like Christopher Pines as an actor. I just think this is going to be fun. I think it's going to be silly. It's going to be D&D. It's going to be like, you know, whether that appeals to a big audience, I don't know. I don't know if this movie will actually be successful, but I think it will be.
The movie is like the trailer. I think it will be, because it's going to have universal appeal, because it's got.
Well, I think it'll have universal appeal amongst Dungeons and Dragons lovers.
Okay.
But how much of that will actually go out to the bigger audience? Like, is there enough people that kind of relate to D&D? I don't know about that.
But don't you think the world has changed from when we were, you know, when I was first playing D&D, there was about 2%, 1% of the population who even knew what it was. Now, virtually everybody I know who's 20, you know, all my daughter's friends, they all game. You know, they all play role-playing games, and you know.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, nerd culture has really taken over the world. But is it? I don't know. I like, maybe I'm out of touch, like because I'm my whole connection is to the Asian culture, like, you know, because like my wife is Asian and that kind of thing. So I don't, like, they don't get it. They don't get it at all. So I'm nervous that this movie has all the potential, and it's probably going to be a fun, great movie. But I'm worried that it just won't get the audience. There's not going to be a big enough audience for it.
Okay. Well, I think it'll. If it's anything like the trailer, then I think it'll be a winner.
Yeah.
Okay. So here we go. We're going to go through. There's quite a lot of these, Allan. So it's 9. I'm going to go through 9. So that was my top pick. That's the one I think is going to be the best. So here we go. We've got 9 movies to talk about. The 9th one on this list. These are ordered by these people in terms of how excited people are to see them. This is number 9. It is Craven. So this is coming from Sony, the people who brought us Morbius. So that's not great.
That's not great. But they're also the same people that brought us SpiderMan.
This is true. So
they can. It's a hit or miss in that, in terms of that.
Yeah, absolutely right. Spider-Man: No Way Home was fantastic. Morbius was a disaster.
Yeah,
You know,
I actually think this is going to be a disaster too.
okay. Why do you think that?
The reason being, I already heard a little bit of what they made Craven in this. Craven is going to be an animal lover.
What? He's a hunter.
Yeah. He's going to be all about animal rights and animal protection and all this kind of stuff.
Oh, right.
So,
Well, let's move on then, because I agree with you. That's not Craven. Right.
yeah,
Yeah. So if that's the case, I 100% behind you. No.
yeah. It's just like, wow.
So what's his motivation for hunting Spider-Man then?
Exactly. I don't know. I have no idea.
Right. Number 8, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom.
Is that how you say hot mess for 2023? No, there's
This is right at the end of the year, so it's not due out till December the 25th, 2023. This seems
yeah.
to be waiting forever for this.
Well, so there's so many problems with this movie. Like, okay,
Oh
so
yes, yeah.
Amber Heard, right?
That's
So
right.
we
You
got,
Johnny Depp's loving wife. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, she's such a great woman. So so this movie, like, okay, so the first Aquaman, I actually didn't like. I thought it was stupid on so many levels. And and I actually liked Amber Heard, by the way. Um, I just thought it was a bit of a mess as well. Like I thought it was like a 6 out of 10 kind of level. Um, this one is probably going to be more of that, is my thought. And it has the whole problem with the Amber Heard problem, where it has to cut her out and try to make her work. And I think it's going to be a mess. Personally,
I like this guy. I think he looks
I
great.
like him. I like him a lot.
He looks great as
He
Aquaman.
looks great, but he's a little bit boring in a way. Did you notice that?
Um,
I don't know.
I didn't dislike him. I thought he could do humor a bit as well. So, but I
He
wanted.
does,
He's one
but
of the guys they're talking about for Lobo, isn't he?
I think he would be a better Lobo.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think he doesn't look like Aquaman, in my opinion.
So if we're gonna, so I think we both said Craven's going to be a 3 or a 4. I think this will be a 6.
Yeah, that's what I would give it to. Because I'm a bit of a fanboy. I like Aquaman as a character.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where I'll give it a higher score than it probably deserves. So yeah, so I worry about it. I kind of want it to be great though. I really do.
Yeah.
And but in a way though, we should almost have a bit of a caveat with this one. This is James Gunn in the helm, potentially, making whether or not this will be, he's going to try to, this is going to be his legacy, right?
He's having to fiddle around after the event, isn't he? I mean, he's not in.
It's hard.
He's not in on the start of this.
Yeah, so I don't know if he can save it, maybe make it like somehow he gets it to be sorted out. The fact that they were releasing it, maybe they have a little bit higher hopes on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
Okay. So we're 6s on that. Blue Beetle.
Yeah, Blue Beetle. I like the whole idea of Blue Beetle.
Well, there's one good thing for it is that it didn't get cancelled. So there must be something people like about it, because Batgirl, which was the sort of same type of timing as this, got cancelled. So somebody must have viewed this and said, let's keep it.
Yeah. And I think it was not I don't think it was like really far along in production when they had that decision. So they, it could have been like Batgirl is a situation where they finished the movie and like they still got rid of it. This is a situation where it was not that far into production and they decided to keep it, which kind of bodes well for it. I'm going to guess this is going to be like a 7 or 8.
Yeah, I think this is a good chance for DC to take something that hasn't got any history. Now, well, it's got a lot of history in the comics, but the general public have never
don't know about it.
don't know Blue Beetle. So there's a
Yeah,
chance here to make something fresh. I mean, it says here a similar sort of thing. You know, nobody had heard of Guardians of the Galaxy except comic nerds before the film. Nobody other than comic nerds had heard of Blue Beetle. So there's a chance here to do something different. Let's hope they do.
yeah, yeah. I have hopes for it.
Yeah.
One of the things that here's a bit of a problem, and this is one of the issues that DC always faces, and it faces it more than Marvel does. Now, when even Marvel, like when it did the Eternals movie, which was not a great movie. I'm just saying it was an okay movie, but it wasn't a great movie. Um, when you do a bunch of characters that nobody knows, there's always a smaller audience. And the ability for those movies to do well is very limited.
Yeah.
DC, even when it does its big characters, is kind of like has that same issue, right?
Yeah, you're right.
This is gonna... and this is like that second tier or third tier,
yeah,
where what is going to be the audience for it?
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the problems with this movie. And I'm not even saying it's a bad movie. I'm just saying that
it's going to struggle because people don't know Blue Beetle.
It's the same thing that happened with Black Adam. Black Adam, I thought was an okay movie. I thought it was a reasonable movie. Yeah. It was entertaining. There was not, it wasn't that. It was a 7 out of 10 for me.
Yeah.
And I think it deserved more than it got.
Yeah.
And it really didn't. It actually, I think it lost at the box.
And it had The Rock in it, so it had a top star.
Exactly. See what I'm saying? So that's my only concern. Like I always, kind of try to see it from the big picture, not just the comic geek in me, like that. Oh, I love this character. Oh, it's going to be like, but I worry because, what is the audience going to be like?
I think I'm going to go 7-8 for my enjoyment, but box office, I agree with you, it's going to be a 5 or a 6 because nobody's heard of it.
Yeah, that's my concern. Yeah. So that's where I'm thinking.
Fury of the Gods.
I think this is going to be fun. I'm really excited about this movie.
I didn't like the trailer. I didn't know who.
I actually liked the trailer.
I didn't know who half the people were. There's some strange women in there that I don't know. I mean, it was Helen Mirren, but I had no idea who she was playing.
Well, she's playing a character that's not in the comics.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. So I think what they're doing with Shazam and is introduce like some villain that is not from the comics on purpose, and where they can do anything they want with those characters. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
I really enjoyed the first Shazam movie.
I did. I liked it.
It looks like based on the trailer,
it was an 8 for me. If it had actually come out last year, it would have been the best film because our highest score was 7. So
yeah, I would agree. Yeah. So I think this is going to be more of the same in terms of, I think it's going to be that level as the first movie. Same kind of humor, bit of tongue in cheek, bit of family, bonding kind of thing.
I'm a bit hesitant. I didn't particularly like the trailer, so although I gave an 8 to the first film, I'm going to go 6 for this. But you think this?
Okay, I'll go 7 or 8.
Okay. The Flash.
Another hot mess. DC has like really messed up situations to deal with. Ezra Miller is just he's like a train wreck. He's actually the train wreck at the train wreck. So it's like he's he's such an idiot. But he's I actually enjoy him as the Flash, believe it or not. I think he did a good job as the Flash. In the Snyder Cut. So there's 2 different Flashes. There's the one that got released in Justice League.
Yeah.
But then there's the Snyder Cut. Yeah. And in the Snyder Cut, they gave him a bit more depth and they made him a better character in a way. So in the Snyder Cut, I thought he was good. In the regular version, he was kind of weak. He was kind of goofy. the story behind this is going to be great. It's a great story that they're doing.
Flashpoint.
Yeah, it's Flashpoint. I mean, it's like such a cool story. It has like so much potential. The fact that they're releasing it even after all this stuff that's happening bodes well for this movie. I'm gonna guess on this one a 7.
Okay.
Or yeah, that's my guess.
All right. I'm going to go 8 on this. I think it could be a good film.
You might be right. You might actually be right on that more than me. The only reason I give it a little bit lower score is like, is there going to be that kind of problem that they have to edit based on the fact that he's in it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, 7 or 8 is probably a good guess.
Okay.
Because it's a great story.
Right. Now then.
Your favorite, my favorite, both of our favorites movie coming up. Okay.
Now, to be fair, this has got to do pretty badly to get a worse score than one of the television shows that we reviewed on Alan's channel. Alan, there's 3 of your favorite characters here. We've got Ms. Marvel, Kamala Khan.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Captain Marvel, that's played by Brie Larson. And we've got Monica Rambeau, I think, being Photon.
Yeah, so believe it or not, the only one I don't like there, I actually like the other 2 girls. I don't like Brie Larson. She's just obnoxious. She's just, she's horrible. I actually did like her in 2 movies, though. I liked her in The Room. That was a good movie. And I liked her in Scott Pilgrim. So those 2 movies, I actually liked Brie Larson. And I was like, I was actually super excited for Miss Marvel when it originally came out. Captain Marvel, I should say. Captain Marvel. I was actually excited, and I thought it was an okay movie. Actually, I would give that movie a 6 or 7 out of 10. Like, not too bad. But I don't like Brie Larson now. She's just so toxic. And the fact that this is going to be written by the same person that wrote She-Hulk is not
your favorite TV series of 20.
My favorite TV series of all time, actually. No sarcasm at all. It's does not bode well for this movie. I just think it's going to be a mess, a total mess, actually, of women power and women empowerment and diversity and all the things that we love in movies nowadays. It's going to be all of that. And I think it's going to be a mess.
Okay, they do make a good point here, though, that this will get the benefit of a prelude with Secret Invasion releasing just before this comes out. So we will have been able to watch Secret Invasion on our TV screens just before this releases, which we both thought Secret Invasion was going to be a good TV series. So this will come out just after that. So that might boost the box office a bit.
I bet so Captain Marvel shouldn't have made money at the box office, but it did incredibly well. It actually did really well. But it was sort of in between. It was sandwiched between Infinity War and Endgame.
Yeah,
and they were kind of cheating the box office by saying, "Oh, you had to watch it in order to enjoy Endgame."
Yeah.
Now they might be trying to do the same thing again with this. I don't think you fool me once, but you can't fool me twice. So I have a feeling this movie is going to fail at the box office.
So what are you scoring this one, Alan?
I'm going to give it a 4.
A 4. Okay.
So I actually have higher hopes for it than I do for the TV show.
Yeah. No, you've given this a much higher score. I will give this. I'm going to go 6.
Okay, so you're a little bit more bullish than me.
Yeah. I don't dislike Brie Larson as much as you do.
I don't mind her acting skills.
No.
She's a bit, though I didn't like her. Actually, I didn't like her in Captain Marvel that much. I thought she was a bit of a B something.
All right, number 3 on the list, we have got Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
So this movie comes out soon.
Yes, I think it does come out in the first part of the year. Has it got a date?
Like I think February, I think comes out.
Yeah, February 17th. So this will be the first one we get. Yeah.
Yeah. I like the guy that plays King.
Yeah, me too.
Um,
Yeah.
and I like, all the Ant-Man people. Like there's just all good actors.
Yes.
Um, and I think that they're gonna, they're really, I like stories where there's world building. And this is really them exploring the quantum
Well,
realm.
it's also the beginning of phase 5. So this is kicking off the next phase. So whereas
Yeah,
previous Ant-Man movies have been sort of fillers, uh, this one actually
is key. Is key.
is a key column. So I think this could be pretty significant.
Yeah, so I would say that this I'm gonna guess like 7 or 8.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 7.5. Yeah, so about the same as you.
I'm excited to see this movie. I think it could be fun.
Yeah, yeah. So we're both looking forward to that one. Okay, next up we have got Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1. So
Yeah.
this is we know this is going to be 2 movies, which I think is
Yep.
smart. Uh,
Yeah.
and the first one of these was great.
Yeah. Just really fun.
I watched
Really
it
enjoyed
on
it.
an aeroplane and it was brilliant.
Yeah.
But I hadn't watched it. My kids told me, Dad, you need to watch it. And I went, it's a cartoon. And they said, watch it. And I watched it. And it was
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah, I loved it. Yeah, I'd give the first one like a 7, 8 or 9, I should say.
Oh, yeah, I'd give it a 9. It's one of my.
Yeah, I thought it was really well done. It made me like Miles Morales a lot more.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a good movie. So this one, I'm going to say the same. I'm going to say 8. It would be just a guess.
But yeah, I mean, they've got to cock it up, haven't they? For it not to be an 8,
Yeah,
they've got to do something horrible. And what are they going to do? I mean, like you've got they've got a cast of Spider people. We've got Ben Riley's going to be there. We've got
yeah.
Gwen's going to be there.
SpiderMan 2099. And
Spider-Man 2099. I don't know. So you've really got to work quite hard. I suppose it depends what they do with the plot, but this will be the multiverse that we didn't get in Doctor Strange, won't it?
yeah, I mean, this one, I think, though, the fact that they're making 2 movies
Yeah,
bodes well. Like,
it does
it
very
just,
well. Yeah.
because it's like saying, well, we have enough confidence in this movie that we are going to make 2 of them.
Yeah, there's a strong enough story to string it across 2 movies. Yeah,
Exactly. So I think I'm pretty bullish on this. I think it's going to be fun. With animation, in terms of like superhero movies in general, when you do animation, you can do so much more.
yeah, of course.
And it's just you can suspend disbelief. Even quirky costumes aren't so quirky when it's animated compared to when it's live action. So I think it has like way more potential. And if they keep it in the same kind of stylized way that they did the original,
Yeah,
I think this is only for them to mess up.
they did generally spot Doctor Octopus though.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. But that's in the multiverse, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, they did that in the original one.
yeah, they did.
Yeah, I thought that was a little bit weird. I was a little annoyed by that personally, but yeah, I actually enjoyed it still. So I can forgive that sometimes.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, 8 or 9 for me.
Yes, I would say like at least an 8.
And finally, the most anticipated movie of the year, according to this list, is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, James Gunn's parting shot for Marvel before he disappears off to DC.
So does James Gunn actually do this one?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it's a hit or miss. So watching the trailer and watching the Christmas special, I'm nervous. The problem with it is like there's a joke that James Gunn does, and I think James Gunn finds it funny, but it gets tedious very quickly. And the joke is this: you have your superhero doing something stupid and and embarrassing. Okay, so for example, in what's it called, in Suicide Squad 2, they go into like some village and they kill everybody, and it's like they realize, oh, ha ha ha, later on,
That's right.
those are
They were
actually
the resistance. Yeah.
they were the resistance, they were good people. That is not funny to me. In the, you know, I know that they played it as a joke, but it's not funny in the respect that these are heroes, or kind of anti-heroes, and they're doing something that's really evil, and they're celebrating
Yeah,
that
I agree
evilness.
with you. That did stick in my throat a bit as well.
And that's a James Gunn joke.
Yeah,
That's his. He likes doing that.
yeah,
And in the trailer for Guardians of the Galaxy 3, there's a scene where Drax throws a ball at a little kid.
that's right.
Okay,
Yeah, and
and it has that sort of same kind of joke element to it, where
yeah,
the superhero is doing something a little bit obnoxious.
yeah,
And in the Christmas special, it was the scene where they basically almost kill a bunch of cops trying to get away, and they do all this damage, and they're like, oh, haha, we didn't mean it. You know, I don't want my heroes to be non-heroic.
no.
And that's, I see that as a problem. And I'm worried that this might have a lot of that, because that's my fear.
Okay. But there's some good things here. We're going to get the high evolutionary.
Oh yeah. And I think we're going to have a really great story for
the origin of Rocket.
Yeah.
We're probably we're going to get the death of Rocket as well.
I don't think they're going to kill him, tell you the truth.
I don't think they're going to kill him. Okay.
But I think it will be a traumatic story where they give you his backstory and they'll make it. I'm just hoping that they play it straight. I don't want them to joke. Just stop joking, please. Just tell, a heartwarming story. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So
I'm going to give it a 7.
7. That's just what I was about to say. Yeah.
Okay, so I beat you to it. Haha.
So there we are, Alan. So which all those? There's quite a lot of movies there. There's 10 movies, including the Dungeons and Dragons one. Which, if I was to say to you, you can only go and watch
to one of them.
One of them. Which one would you pick?
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, it's either that or the Spider-Verse one, isn't it? It's either that
or actually, I would have gone. My number 1 choice would be Dungeons and Dragons. Number 2 choice is Quantumania. Actually.
Oh, okay, all right. I think Dungeons and Dragons. My second choice would probably be this. Yeah. So. Yeah, okay. So we've got quite a lot to look forward to. Hopefully, we'll get a movie this year, which we score more than 7 out of 10, which was what the maximum score was on movies from 2022. So, we live in hope.
Yeah, just quickly, I feel like I owe people a bit of a rant just because I promised them. My rant is actually going to be very simple. Just quickly, I just want Marvel and DC to realize that the mistakes in the past and to do better. They can do better. As Falcon had told everybody, you can do better. Okay? So do better, people. Just make a good show. That's all I ask.
Oh, well, that was a pretty decent
That's my rant.
Okay. If you want to see a real Allan rant, go and what he accidentally did his rant on his own show. So go and watch him reviewing or previewing Velma. That's where he does a real Allan rant. Okay, so that's it, guys. We will see you next week. So that's it for now. Bye.